Ho ho ho. Try to run in front of my car.
How's it going, guys? Cameron here is Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. Now, I'm just getting over a brutal fucking, I don't know what it was. I had a cold, cough. It wasn't COVID. Said it had more to do with my bronchitis. Just getting over it here. And you saw that clip at the beginning of the fucking deer, eh? 5:30 in the morning. Lucky I didn't hit that little Bambi, if you will. So, yeah, I hope you're all having a good weekend. I was outside earlier this morning doing some stuff. But now we're back. We're back in the games room. We've got a couple of things to rant about. Now, the first couple of topics, I'm going to lightly touch them, get into a few things here and there. If you guys want me to go further in on it, I can do separate rant videos. So yeah, the first thing I want to talk about here, I think we're going to talk about the Sega Master System. Now this is going to ruffle a few feathers in the community. So there's a few fanboys in the community, and I'm friends with them, so we can joke about it here and there. And this is just one man's opinion, but I think, if you're one of those gamers out there that's hardcore into the Sega Master System, I think you're overhyping it just a bit. I do think it's probably one of the most overrated consoles of all time. Growing up, hardly anybody in North America had a Sega Master System. And if you go back and look at the library of games for the Master System, the pickings are slim, let's be honest here. And if you want to argue with me about that, go ahead, be my guest. But the fact of the matter is, the real reason the Sega Master System didn't really succeed in North America had more to do with the NES. The NES is just a killer. This is coming from someone who loves their Sega Genesis. And even I will admit, even though I love the Genesis, I would probably say the NES has a better library of games than the Genesis, if I'm being honest with you. And probably even more so than the Super NES. The NES is just a fucking beast. Just banger after banger after banger. Now, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of shitty games on the NES. For every good game, there's about 10 that are shit. But as a whole, the NES is just a fucking beast. And even though the Sega Master System is a more capable console than the NES, it just didn't have the library of games. That's just the reality of it. If you want to argue about it, go ahead. But outside of Outrun and the Sonic games and a few games here and there on the Master System, I think it is pretty overrated. I think there are a lot of gamers out there that, for nostalgic reasons, they can't seem to want to take off the rose-tinted glasses, and they're talking this thing up like it's, the second coming of Christ. It couldn't be any further from the truth. And don't even get me started on the Dreamcast and the Saturn. It's the same thing. You got a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys in the community that probably weren't even born when those consoles came out, and their dicks are rock hard right in the air. The fucking Saturn is just a fucking incredible console. Where were you? Where were you in 1995 when I had that console? It was a fucking garbage console. Garbage. Sure, you could make the argument, there's just so many good games that were released over in Japan. Sorry, that wasn't the reality back in 1995. It just wasn't, okay? So, yeah, I guess we can sort of get off of that topic. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, too, is that Cowabunga collection that's coming out. Again, consumerism at its finest. All you retro gamers in the community, you got your dicks right in the air, and you're all hot and horny over this Cowabunga collection. Oh my god, all these Ninja Turtle games in one fucking package. Oh my god. We've played these games a fucking 100 times, and you guys are just hot and horny because it's getting a physical release. That's the only reason why you guys will pick up this release and then you'll put it on your shelf and jerk off to it. Look what I have on my shelf. Consumerism at its finest. Here we go again. We don't need to play these games. We played them over 100 times already. And you guys are acting like it's the second coming of Christ. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It never ends with regards to you physical collectors. You know, I like physical media just as much as the next person, but you know, these companies, they know that you guys are gonna buy whatever it is they put out. It doesn't matter what they put out. You guys are gonna be all hot and horny over it. It's ridiculous. So the next rants we're gonna get into the TV show Stranger Things. So they all kind of tie in together, these three topics, but so I'm a child of the 80s. I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up in that era. I think Winona Ryder is a fantastic actress. I've always been a big fan of her. Even when, you know, she was getting teased for, you know, shoplifting and she had her dark period. She's on a bit of a resurgence here with the Stranger Things TV show. Now, this show fucking sucks. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm surprised Winona Ryder is even in it because she always went for those roles that were different, not necessarily generic, darker roles. And this TV show is so fucking generic. The actors and actresses in it, no one I've ever even fucking heard of outside of Winona Ryder. And the only reason why this show is popular is because of the pop culture references from the 80s and the 90s. And then the people that watch this show, they weren't even fucking born back then. We're talking kids that were born after the year 2000. And they're watching this show and they're jerking off to the pop culture references. Never mind that the show fucking sucks. And the next thing you know, oh, what's this song by Kate Bush, Running Up the Hill? Oh, I must run out and download this. This song is fucking amazing. Oh my god, did you hear that band in the latest episode of Stranger Things, Metallica? I gotta listen to metal music now. I gotta download Master of Puppets. Get your own fucking decade. Quit trying to fucking live like you were born in the 80s and 90s. That's our decade. Carve out your own niche. Get on with your fucking life. It's unbelievable, these fucking hipsters that were around in the 80s and 90s that have to fucking, I need to get in there and get in and take everything that, it's your guys' generation, but I need to get my hands in there and fucking, vinyl records and VHS and tape cassettes and retro video games. I gotta act like that's my generation. Get the fuck out of here, seriously? And the TV show is trying to be a little bit of David Lynch, a little bit of Steven Spielberg, a little bit of Stanley Kubrick, but it can't be any of those. It's fucking garbage. And the people that act like this TV show is just so fucking amazing it's absolutely consumerism. There's a bunch of pop culture references in this TV show. So that automatically makes this TV show fucking amazing. Again, don't pay attention to the fact that it's got terrible screenwriting, okay, terrible acting, terrible camera angles. It's got good music in it. It's got so many 80s and 90s pop culture references. It must be good. Oh my fucking god. If you want a good TV show that encapsulates everything that show's trying to be, you could go check out the original Twin Peaks. That's a real good fucking show. But Stranger Things? No. That's a fucking straight to Netflix. Get your fix on. Get your 80s fix on. Here today, gone tomorrow. Absolute fucking garbage. And it's being watched by a bunch of fucking hipsters that weren't even born until after the year 2000. And their generation absolutely sucks. So they have to go in tits hard on the fucking 80s and 90s and rediscover a bunch of stuff that they weren't even around for back when this stuff was available. It's absolutely ridiculous. It drives me nuts. The generation of today drives me fucking nuts. They can't come up with their own things to fucking discover and be unique. They have to fucking find someone else's path, someone else's way. And it's just ridiculous. They can't come up with their own fucking path. It's sad. It's pathetic. I feel sad for the kids of today's generation. And we see it on YouTube all the time. We see kids that are like 20 years old, 21 years old, and they're talking about fucking games that came out in the 80s and 90s. You weren't even around back then, for fuck's sakes. Your opinion doesn't matter. So that was my big rant. I wanted to talk about Stranger Things because it absolutely fucking drives me nuts that people are clamoring for this TV show. Have you seen the latest episode? Have you seen season 4 of Stranger Things? Oh my god, you see all the pop culture references in it? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Never mind that the show's mediocre as fuck. But that's the world we're living in. That's the generation we're living in, right? Right? They don't look for the quality in things. They just look for everything at face value. And, if it's got 80s and 90s pop culture references, it's going to sell no matter how mediocre it is. So, yeah, that was my rant for today. A little 3-part ranter, if you will. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. You can leave a comment below. Anyways, we're going to be back with lots of more videos this weekend. There's lots going on, folks. There's lots to talk about. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.